With an update on CM Punk possibly suing AEW and more, this is Wrestling Hub. My name is John, and you're watching the Wrestling Report. Before we get into the rest of the video, make sure you subscribe to Wrestling Hub and turn on all notifications to stay up to date with everything in the world of pro wrestling. Also, don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Wrestling Hub Official and follow us on Twitter at Wrestling_Hub. Revealing a photo of her twins, former WWE star Kelly wrote on X, Brooklyn Marie, Koba 6 pounds 11 ounces, Jackson Matthew, Koba 6 pounds 5 ounces. On September 10th, 2023, I gave birth to our twin angel babies Jackson Matthew and Brooklyn Marie Koba. They were born perfect and healthy as could be. Talk about who took part in recent WWE Performance Center tryouts. PW Insider reported that thus far the only name we have 100% confirmed as taking part is 4th generation star Brogan Finley, the son of Dave Fit Finley. Mentioning how his return to WWE on Smackdown last week came together, Pat McAfee said this on his show. Hey, you want to go down to Smackdown? Open the show and then be in the ring with The Rock whenever he does his thing? I guess, yeah. Got there 5:34 local time because traffic from Boulder to Denver was not great. Show starts 6 local time. So a lot of people talk about how long did everything come together? It's like real quick. We're talking everything came together real quick. What an honor to be back there, honestly. Absolute honor to be back. Great to see everybody. I thank them mightily for the opportunity to do that, and then this time for The Rock right here. That's Attitude Era. That's way back in the day. The Rock hadn't been back in 4 years, and this crowd was loud to begin with. When I went out there, I heard it. I was like, oh, this is a louder crowd than it normally is, and then all of a sudden, not only is it an active and loud crowd, then you got the Ifya with the social media guy going through the background, and great shot right there. What a night, dude. I'm so thankful that I was even asked to be a part of that. It was so cool to see everybody though, you know? And then watching The Rock just in there, you watch his face when I said it's a 2-hour show and he looks at me, The Rock knows it's a 2-hour show. That was amazing being part of the Cena Rock segment. They were like, hey, we're gonna have you guys walk out here. This is literally on our way out. They're like, can we get a shot of you guys walking out? And then obviously, well, I've seen it in there as well. I was like, you don't need to have me in here. Listen, I understand the game here. There is no reason for me to be here. I appreciate it. They're like, no, need you there. Okay, you said it, and then just, yeah, absolutely. So then I'm standing there just like everybody else watching these two. I'm like, are these two about to set up for a WrestleMania run right now? I didn't know if it was about to be a work or not. Then obviously I see you smiling. The whole thing, it was cool. It was electrifying. They told me to stay in the ring, like stay in the ring the whole time. I'm like, I don't think I should be in there. We got a thing happening here. Stay in the ring and then after we'll potentially work a little bit. And I'm like, okay, so am I punting? What am I doing? A leg drop? What am I doing? People's elbow. Oh, okay, I'm doing a people's elbow. All right, sweet. So everything's being told to me and I'm like, oh, okay, is that good? Yeah. And once again, don't have to happen though. Every time they pitch something, I'm like, all good. Thank you for all of that. Going over changes made to Raw last night, Ringside News wrote that several notable alterations were made to this week's episode of WWE Raw as the company progresses toward the Fastlane pay-per-view event next month. Initially, Tegan Nox was slated to be NXT Women's Champion Becky Lynch's opponent, but she ultimately competed on the main event tapings. Additionally, the 2 out of 3 Falls match between the Viking Raiders and the New Day was changed to a singles bout featuring Ivar and Kofi Kingston. PW Insider further reports additional adjustments to the show as Natalya, who was originally scheduled to face Xia Li on main event, was replaced by Nox. Natalya instead squared off against Becky Lynch. WWE also initially intended to schedule Ricochet versus Shinsuke Nakamura immediately after Cody Rhodes versus Dominic Mysterio, but chose to postpone it to push it back in order to push more star power to later segments as Seth Rollins would be involved. Talking to Steve Miggs about his plans to climb Mt Everest, Darby Allin noted that I go to Switzerland in October, train there, I go to China in November, I go to New Zealand in February, and actual Mt Everest in April. I've never climbed any mountains before. I wanted to go 0 to 100. I wanted to show that the mind, the will to do something is strong enough to where you don't have to train for anything. There, the climbing company he's working with are like, come on, I agree to get the proper training. The actual climb is in April, and it's 2 months to climb it. Giving a health update on El Hijo Del Vikingo, Dave Meltzer said on Wrestling Observer Radio he got hurt, as we talked about last night. He got hurt on Saturday night, and it's a hip injury. He's got a title match in Mexico on Saturday against Commander, and the last I heard last night is that it's not 100% that he won't be doing it, although it's probable. They're holding out hope. He was talking like, I'm going to try to rehab all we can see. There's no guarantee that he's wrestling on Saturday. It's touch and go. So that's the situation. But he could be out for a little while, but he didn't break his hip, thank God. It was a pretty serious injury. Taking to social media after reuniting in the ring with Devon Dudley, Bully Ray said this about the future of Team 3D. Based on how much fun we had at Impact 1000 and Devon feeling great, Team 3D has decided to take a very select amount of bookings for signings and maybe a few tag matches. Serious promoters may contact Team 3D bookings at gmail.com. Touching on the WWE status of former AEW champion Jade Cargill, Dave Meltzer said on Wrestling Observer Radio that she was in Orlando on Monday. I asked if she was at the Performance Center. People had not seen her. That doesn't mean she wasn't there. They're doing main roster creative for her right now, and it's high priority. They're not bringing her in to be like, how they would bring in some of the NXT people like Von Wagner or Alba Fire or Katana Chance that are brought up, and they have no idea what to do with them, and they just kind of disappear into the dust. It's almost like, why did we even bother calling them up? She is not earmarked to be like that. She's earmarked for real stuff. For specifics on the WWE Vice President of Development and Digital being fired, Dave Meltzer said on Wrestling Observer Radio, Jamie Horowitz was let go. He was the biggest name. He was on Nick Khan's first major hires off of DAZN when Nick Khan was stripping DAZN. There was a lot of negativity when he was hired. A lot of women employees, because of his rep from ESPN, were not happy. And he wasn't really well liked in WWE from what I understand anyway, but he was a major executive there. Explaining why certain departments saw layoffs in WWE, it was said on Wrestling Observer Radio that over 100 layoffs on Friday. They gutted divisions. It was basically analytics, marketing, and I guess the idea is UFC already has those departments, and they can handle both. So those were two of the departments really hard hit. Recalling his experiences with CM Punk backstage in AEW, Bobby Fish said this on Keeping It 100. I went into his locker room because that's where we called the match, so my bag was in there. Before all this, I was being very respectful, so I went back to get my stuff, and he and I talked back there, and to be honest, Phil acted like a bitch. He was very passive aggressive, like, dude, we're men. I'm somebody's father. You can speak openly and honestly to me. Touching on WWE's feelings regarding the potential signing of CM Punk, it was reported on houseofwrestling.com that one WWE source I spoke with noted that the buzz internally about Punk as a potential free agent is not there like it was when Cody Rhodes was rumored to be on the market at the beginning of 2022. Another source told me that while there could be interest, timing is everything in the pro wrestling business, and at the moment, WWE's product is hot and not necessarily in need of a big name signing. With that said, multiple sources made it clear to me that they saw WWE and Punk working together as a possibility if good business can be done. It appears that CM Punk will not be suing AEW, as Ringside News wrote. According to a report from House of Wrestling, CM Punk has no intention of pursuing any legal action against All Elite Wrestling or Tony Khan following his recent termination from AEW earlier this month. The report also suggests that Punk is relieved to be free from the constant day-to-day drama that surrounded him during his time at AEW. It remains unclear whether AEW or Tony Khan are considering any legal action against Punk. The report indicates that things seem quiet between both parties at the moment. CM Punk recently returned to MMA broadcast commentary at CFFC 125. During the broadcast, when the idea of a post-fight show was mentioned, Punk mentioned that he would have some time on my hands for the next 2 months. This has led to speculation among fans about Punk's potential freedom from any AEW obligations around that time and the possibility of a WWE return. And this was your pro wrestling news update. I hope you're all having a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see y'all later.